So I've got the not chair, it's a table. Got the table base ready to go. I ended up creating more of a geometric shape. Originally I was thinking this might be like, I don't know, trying to sort of mimic branching. But what I did is cover the wooden base. So I've got the original wooden base, and then I added some thin pieces of plywood to act as just a surface and create that geometric shape. And then I covered everything. Well, I need to cover this part in the middle here too, but I covered everything in a jute mesh. And so this jute mesh, you can see, it's a very loose weave. I stapled it to the surface, and this will give the geopolymer something to bind to, something to dig into. And it's also an experiment. So in addition to this being, a decorative piece, my plan is to have this be an experiment in how the geopolymers stand up to the environment here in Arizona. We've got a pretty harsh environment, so I'm gonna finish this table and then put it outside, splash it with pool water, and just let it sit there and get baked in the sun. That tends to do away with pretty much everything else here. So I want to see how it stands up to the rigors. Now the plan for the centerpiece is to cover it in a layer of woodcrete. I was thinking last night about how exactly I was going to trowel on the geopolymer mortar, and geopolymers are very, very sticky, and I haven't quite figured out exactly how to work with geopolymers very well in light of that. So as opposed to me trying to fight the stickiness of a sand-based mortar, doing it with woodcrete, and then using, like with my tools, my trowels or whatever, I can, dip them in a little bit of water just to give it some slipperiness on the surface, or I could even spray it with some of that Pam cooking spray if it's sticking too much. But I can use some plastic, silicone tools to shape it, and hopefully it'll go well. We'll see. It might be a complete disaster, but it'll be a good experiment. And then I plan on casting another piece for the base. So this is actually upside down right now, and I will cast another 16 by 16 inch piece for the base with some little feet or something to give it something to sit on, as opposed to just being one big flat piece, and that should finish it. Oh, and the other thing, for decorative purposes, I'm going to do kind of a yin and yang thing where the top was made with the decomposed granite, and then the bottom, and I may switch this around, I don't know, but the bottom will be made with the basalt mix that I'm going to be casting today for doing some compressive strength testing. And then the woodcrete, I can use some coloring. So I've got black. That's what these bottles over here in the back there are, some concrete staining. So I'll stain part of the woodcrete with black, and the other part I won't stain at all. And at least when I made the woodcrete test samples before, when I cast them with using some diatomaceous earth filler, that seemed to work really well to get a nice light color after the polymer setup and everything. So I'm gonna do the same kind of thing, and we will see how that turns out. Hopefully it'll look nice. If it doesn't look nice, doesn't matter. It's the first time I've done this, and again, this is also for testing how it stands up to the weather. So it's more important that I just have something. Oh, and the other aspect of it that I'm testing is how well it binds to the wood and to the jute. What I plan on doing, instead of just immediately trying to put the woodcrete onto that surface, I plan on first painting on some of the binder before I mix it with the woodcrete, and then mix it with the woodcrete and attach the woodcrete to it, and see if that also aids in the adhesion. That way we'll have a nice solid layer of the binder as a glue, and then the woodcrete will attach to that. Also, because the top that I cast before is only a 1/2 inch thick, it's going to be bound directly to a layer of woodcrete underneath it. That will give me a good idea of how well those bind to each other, which is important, because one of the products that I'd like to experiment with is cladding that has a face of solid geopolymer, maybe not a full 1/2 inch thick, maybe like 3/8 or maybe even a 1/4 inch thick. And then attached to that is a layer of insulating material. That may be woodcrete, but it could also be something like a pumice-based lightweight concrete, or it could be even foam geopolymer. There are different ways to arrive at that, but the idea is to get about an inch thick layer of insulative material on the back, and have that attached to the building using a cleat system, so this will help me with respect to that. So that is my plan. I'm going to make a separate video talking about the compressive strength testing I mentioned earlier.